how to market yourself like big corporations do using experiential marketing. Today on Marketing Gems with Labo Labs, coming up. Yes, it took me a second. Hello, everybody. Thank you for
Hey,
tuning in.
everybody.
If you're catching us live, thank you for being here. If you're catching the replay, thank you as well. Today on Marketing Gems, we are talking about how to market yourself, whether you're a small business owner, nonprofit, marketer as well, right? So how to
Mhm.
market yourself like the big corporations do. How you doing today, Mr. Bo?
Doing great. And, I've been saying this for a couple of years. As long as you have the strategy, your budget is secondary, right? Because there's so many ways you can work around not having the biggest budget. And today, I want to talk to you about some of the ways you can market yourself like the large corporations I've worked with, and I will be naming names and exposing strategies today, telling stories about what I learned working with a lot of companies. And what people didn't know when they were working with me is that I always was planning on starting my own marketing agency, or I was building it. So I was working with them and learning from them, learning the gaps, learning the problems with the marketing strategies and things that happen when you're out there in the field. And so I have a lot of value to share with you all today. So I hope that you're ready. Hi, Rashini. How are you today? All right. So let's start with the definition of experiential marketing. A lot of people have heard of it. Most people don't know what it is. So, experiential marketing is often also called event marketing or live marketing or engagement marketing. And the purpose of it is to connect on the ground with your potential customers, to give them a face to your brand and an experience with your brand, and also to drive up customer loyalty. So, when you are a big brand such as Coke, Pepsi, you don't have to see a lot of commercials that with them, but they are building loyalty all the time, all year round. And I'm going to show you how they do it and how you can do it. And why are we talking about this now? When you talk about experiential marketing, you're thinking, oh, this is about being in person. Well, we're not in person yet. However, you don't have to be thinking about being in person now. We're talking about planning for the future. So I'm giving you tips and strategies on how to get ready for when things open up so you can jump right in and you already have a plan and strategy on how you're going to market yourself in person. So many of the things we talk about usually are digital marketing, right? Online marketing. But today we're talking about in-person marketing. How do you market yourself on purpose and in person? And I have been to several small business conventions and those conferences, and you walk around, you see a lot of companies doing different things, and I'm just looking around at the ones that are doing it right, the ones who are doing it wrong, and I'm going to show you some of the ways you can do it right. So let's get started by talking about the different types of experiential marketing campaigns. Different types of experiential marketing campaigns. Go ahead, Mohammed. You're on mute, Mohammed.
Yeah, before you keep going, I just wanted to let you know that at times I'll just put you on full screen and then I'll be in the back doing the comms.
Perfect. All right, let's roll. So there's different types of experiential marketing, and some I haven't even listed here, but these are the most common: tours, street teams, live demo experiences, free samples, entertainment, games, photo ops, and meet and greet. So let's start from the beginning. Tours. Okay, so once I was doing an experiential marketing campaign with Coke, and Coke was doing a Southern um, tour. right? This is something that they do every year. They put two guys in a bus and they give them a Coke truck. And inside of the Coke truck is a couple of machines, sample machines. And what these guys do is they go from town to town at different um, high traffic events, and they will have marketers, experiential marketers, come and meet them at that location, and then they market the brand together. So when they pull up, they have the machines and the setup, right? They get out of the truck with the machines. They and the person that is over it is also the person that has to maintenance the machine. But these two guys, they will set up the whole setup, like the branding, like the flooring, the seating, and everything. They build it up, and they give the the I guess the ambassadors their marching orders. Like they give them their uniforms, their hats if they have them. They tell them what they need them to do, where they need them to go, what they need them to be saying, and then they do the activation. That's what it's called, an activation. They get the customers to come over there and they interact with them. They have fun with them. They give them free samples. And then at the end of the day, they tear it all down together. They tear it all down together and then they get back on their truck. They do this usually for like a weekend or a full week, and then they're off to the next city. So how can you recreate that? Today I was talking to, no, wasn't today, yesterday, I was talking to a lady who is the mother of a graphic designer on my team. And they are doing a pop-up entrepreneurs event. So what they're doing is something like what Coke does. They're going from town to town, having an entrepreneurial meeting where they allow business owners to come and promote their businesses in their booth. Excellent idea. Perfect example, right? And so how can you recreate what Coke does and what Pepsi does? Is you can plan out a tour. It could be a tour to different cities in your town and hit all of the spots where there's going to be high traffic of your demographic, whether that is business people or college students or children. If there's going to be a big event, you make sure that you're there. You guys show up. You have all your branding content, your signs, and all of those things, and you have a plan for the day. You make sure that you have all of your people in uniform. I cannot tell you how important it is for everyone to have the same shirt and or hat on representing your brand. It makes a huge difference in sales that day. So that is one example. All right, second example, and I can go on and on about each one of these, but I'm just going to do a little bit on each one. Street teams. So you've seen people stand outside of a place handing out flyers, right? Well, that's what a street team does. Now, here's a very inexpensive way you can do a street team. Okay, so let's say I'm getting excited about this just because I've been a part of this before. Okay, so let's say you have an event coming up, right, Mohammed? You have an event, and there is an event about to come up that would attract your similar demographic. Let's say Mohammed was throwing a an upcoming event for um, sports memorabilia, right? Sports memorabilia. I don't know if Muhammad's even into sports, but let's just say he is. Now, let's say there's a big sporting event that's coming up 1 month, in 1 month. What Muhammad can do is him and a few of his good looking friends, they all put on Muhammad's shirt with his shirt on, right? His branding, and do two things. Have each one of those people in front of the doors, entrances of that event, right? And each one of those team members or friends has a stack of flyers. Now, before that event happens, you're going down the line handing out flyers, saying one-liners. Hey, there's this memorabilia event coming up. Here you go. Did you get your flyer yet? Did you hear about the free thing that's happening in a month? Blah, blah, blah. Just say something, put it in their hand, and just keep going down the line until you run out of flyers. What you can also do is go into restaurants, clubs, and bars that are also in that area and do the same thing. You can go in there and say, hey, can I speak to the manager? I was wondering if it's okay for me to give this flyer out to an event that's happening, a sports event, blah, blah, blah. They usually will let you do it. Go in there and hand out the flyers. That's called guerrilla marketing, right? You didn't ask permission to do this. And what you'll find out is that the cops won't stop you either, especially if you're nice to them. So the street team, you have to be really strategic. You know, there's other companies that do street teams. Lots of people do street teams, but they're not really strategic. If I'm telling you, I can expose so many companies, Mohammed. I'm talking about big companies, Mohammed, that are not strategic in their marketing. And I'm telling you, flyer distribution, as simple as that may seem, if you're strategic about it, it can be great for you. Demo
Yeah,
experiences. All right. What did you say, Mohammed?
I agree with that. Definitely.
Yes, people would be surprised to know that there's a lot of money in big companies, but there's not a lot of strategy, depending on the company, right? Or the agency they're working with. All right, so a live demo experience. Have you ever gone to a place, Mohammed, and they actually let you interact with the product?
Like the Apple Store.
Yes, like the Apple Store, right? And they give you a live walkthrough of what the product is, how it functions, and they let you play with it, right? Okay, live demo experience. Maybe you have a software, right? Maybe you have a product. Let people have an interactive experience with that product or software. Show them how to use it. Have a demo of it playing. That way, people can see what it's going to be like. Before the
Mm,
Oculus came out, right? Before the Oculus came out, we were talking about live demo experiences, letting people experience what the Oculus Quest 2 would be like and walking them through that experience before they bought it. Because especially when you have a high ticket item, that's when you need to do a demo experience. If it is something like the Oculus Quest 2 that costs like $300, $400, people want to experience it before they go drop in that type of money, right? So remember that the more high ticket your software or product is, you want to give a live experience or demonstration of how it works. Okay, free
mm.
samples. Free samples, giving out free samples, right? How much of a free sample do you give? Well, it just depends. I work with several companies when it comes to free samples, and what all you need to do is have a table. You should have a shirt. You should have that table have branding. You should fix up that table nicely. The person that's at that table has to be very outgoing, friendly, can talk to people, likes to talk to people, very engaging. And the reason why you have to do that is because this has to be the type of person that isn't afraid to say, hey, how you doing, come on over here, I got free samples for you, come and try this, you'll love it. You know, they have to have that type of personality. I've been to many business conferences where you have someone standing at the table that's on their phone, sitting down, looking distracted, doesn't really know how to interact with people, letting people walk by, not inviting them. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yeah, we got Nina that just joined us in the clubhouse. Just
Mhm.
wanted to reset the room for her real quick. We're talking about how to market yourself like big corporations using experiential marketing. So, Nina, if you have a question, just hold on tight for a minute. We'll get to the questions. And Labo, we keep talking about how to market yourself using experiential and guerrilla marketing as well.
Right. Now, when it comes to free samples, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind. You can't just go set up anywhere and give out free samples. You have to be strategic about how you're doing it. One time I was working with Twisted Tea, right? Twisted Tea, um, it's like a lemonade, hard lemonade, I believe. I know that sounds bad. I've worked with so many people, but I remember when I arrived at the location, the place that they wanted me to set up the Twisted Tea station at, it was right by the front door. So that kind of made sense, right? be where all the traffic is coming in. But you know what people were doing? Because I was on the left side, every time they walked in, they would just walk right past. They wouldn't look. They wouldn't go. It's not natural for somebody to walk and then go like this. So it was in a bad location, right? And so I talked to the company about that. But you have to be in a strategic place. For instance, I was working with TikTok once, and they wanted us to um, basically, we were there to collect data from the students, right? And they placed us in different, well, really, we were in charge of wherever we wanted to stand. But at the same time, they wanted us to be in a high traffic area during a time where students were going back and forth really fast. They were worried about getting to class. You know, they were worried about getting to class. They weren't worried about talking to a TikTok person and giving away free information, right? So I had to figure that out. But you have to be purposeful about where you set up your free samples, where it makes sense. All right. Entertainment, a crowd gatherer. So you can also, if your brand has something to do with performing arts, or if it's some type of service, you can have an entertainer. Do you know that some companies will even hire a magician to be a crowd gatherer and come? Yes, a crowd gatherer
Yes.
is simply a person that can be loud and big and attract people to come over, right? So all they're there is to bring attention to, and I've seen people do this in so many different ways, so that people will turn around and say, oh, what is this company that's doing this? And now you have all of these people. Now, there's only one problem with crowd gathering. Crowd gathering is great because it gets attention to your booth, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that those people are interested in what you're talking about, right? Or your services. So now you just have a whole bunch of people crowding around, but they may not necessarily be your target demographic. So it's a hit and miss with that one. Okay. And I work with companies. I've been a lot of different things, Mohammed. I can show you the costumes. I've been a lot of different things to get people to come over to talk to a company, but it's fun. Oh yeah, my Instagram. If you check out my Instagram, you'll see. Okay, games, games. All right, games are another way to do a live demo experience. Now, sometimes I worked with Goodyear once, right? Goodyear blimp. Right. Okay. So once they had an activation where they wanted to basically give people an experience, literally there was nothing about Goodyear going on there. They weren't selling anything. It's just they just wanted to provide something fun and then put their name on it, Goodyear, right? So that people say, "Oh, Goodyear did this thing. It was fun, and we took pictures." And now they've got. Let me tell you, this is how you do it. A lot of people do what Goodyear did. They set up fun, like 3 fun games at this huge event. 3 fun games. They had a huge team. Everybody had on the uniform. And at each station, those people would help you to interact with those 3 games. And there was a photo op. So a lot of times with experiential marketing, big companies will have a big like branding wall with their brand, and you get to take pictures in front of it, and of course you're going to post it. um and that brings me to my next one. Photo ops. Photo ops are very smart because when you put something up that's really cool to look at or take a picture with, people are going to take a picture, and then boom, there's your name. People want to say, who is that? What is this company? Right? For
Mm.
instance, I was working with this company, this educational company called Responsive Learning. And we had to create a photo op so that people could not only want to come over to the booth because they wanted to take a picture with me, right? Because I was Wonder Woman, Muhammad. I was Wonder Woman. I was dressed as Wonder Woman.
Nice.
Let me tell you, I was so pumped that day. Literally, I was pumped. My muscles back then, that's when I was competing. My muscles were so big that they couldn't fit the costume on me right because my calves and my biceps were too big. But so I was playing Wonder Woman, and people will come over to take a picture with me and they say, "Oh, what is this company?" Now
Mm.
there's the CEO talking to them about the company. So photo ops are great opportunities. So when you think about a photo op, think about something unusual, funny, fun, or cool that would attract people over, because they're going to say, "Oh, I had to come and take a picture with you guys. Oh, this is so cool. Watch, I'm going to send this to my mom. She won't believe it. I took a picture with Wonder Woman or Thor or whoever, some kind of character."
Where would you put that? Where would you put these photo hubs? Would it
On
be like
Instagram,
around
people are posting it.
supermarkets?
Okay, let me give you an idea. I gave Nissan, right? Um, I'm gonna get to that. Hold on, I'm gonna get to that part. Okay,
Okay.
meet and greet, meet and greet. All right, there was this huge event that was happening in Dallas. Lots of sports celebrities was there. I was working the department that had this boxer who had just like was in the world, like the American Championship. He was like an MMA fighter. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was helping him to take pictures with um the fans. So people came over to interact with the brand because of this celebrity guy, right? I think his name was Brian Ortega or something like that. Something. And I got a picture with him.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically it was Corona. It was Corona. Boy, you ever seen, you go into the room and there's Corona bars inside of the room everywhere. Every room was a different flavor of Corona. And so you go over to one side and there's this girl, she's dressed up as something. You take pictures with her over here, over here. It was like so decked out. Like it was just so extravagant. Celebrities everywhere, great food everywhere, beer everywhere. But a meet and greet. So who do you know? Do you know someone special? Do you know a celebrity who might want to help out your brand by saying, "Let's do a meet and greet," and you're just being letting that person be the spokesperson for that day for your brand, right? Some of us know celebrities, some of us know actors, some of us know. So see if they might be interested in helping you out. Okay, so let's
Would
talk
that
about
work
the.
too with some
Mhm.
big social media influencers in your industry and things like that? Would that work too for these kind of people?
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
If you know micro influencers or influencers on social media, doing a meet and greet and having them sponsor your brand, that is a great way. All right.
Mm.
So let's talk about the different types of experiential marketers. So now you're saying, okay, I'm into the idea of having some type of experience with my customers, but what type of experiential marketer do I need? There's many different types. So here are some. Product specialist. Okay, so a product specialist is not a salesman, they're an informer. They're a person who will learn all about your company, all about your brand or your product, and they will inform people about it. So a product specialist will be good for like a business conference, and they will just, and you, but you can use them for any time. But what you do is you get this person who's good at public speaking. Also, if they have an interest in your actual industry, that would be great. For instance, if you had a protein brand, right? You will want to use a product specialist that is fit and that is into health and wellness, right? If you are a person who, if you have a technological device, you will want to get somebody who's into tech, right? So one time I was a product specialist for Google, and I was informing lots of different people on all the new Google Nest products. So if you ever seen a commercial about Google Nest where it's like video chatting, the doorbell, the lock, they have a lot of different things, thermostat. And so a product specialist will learn all about that and really inform the community about what it is, how to use it, and why they should buy. A wine sampler or a sampler is a person that is usually a female, usually a nice looking female, depending on the brand and your demographic. For instance, if you are a wine company, you might want to use a female that is, you know, maybe in her from the ages of 25 to 30 or 25 to 35 that is in good shape, you know. Usually they wear all black. Um, but it all depends. If you're a beer company, you might want to use somebody, you know, 20 to 25, you know, in really good shape, and they have a really cute outfit on. So it just depends. But what they're there to do is be outgoing and to give people samples. And so we'll talk about that later. Okay, once I was a promo model for JC Penney, right? They were opening up a new location with a whole new setup. It was just like revamped JC Penney. They actually changed their names to Penny from JC Penney. And a promo model is simply a person who wears the uniform, and they kind of just are the pretty person that stands there and looks cute and talk about whatever it is that's going on. But they're really there to like interact with folks, right? So people usually are having um they usually are wanting to talk to people who look inviting and fun and energetic. That's what a promo model is, right? She's not your Aunt Betty who's standing there in the t-shirt, okay? And I see a lot of companies trying to save money by using their HR specialists to come and stand at their booth, but nobody wants to come over and talk to Miss Betty. No, they don't want to talk to Betty. They want to talk to Becky. And I'm I mean I may sound bad when I say that, but I'm just telling you how, if you want to compete with the big dogs, this is how they do it. They use eye candy. It doesn't mean that these women are smart, beautiful, inside and all of that, but you know, that's the way that it works. Um, let's see. A spokesperson. So you can hire a spokesperson that will advertise, video advertise. These are people who are really good at doing video advertisements. So they also, like a product specialist, they learn about your business, but now they're the person that talks about it like an infomercial, right? So they're like, um, today I have with me gray and blue tissue. And as you can see, it comes into a standard box. The tissue is ultra soft. You know, those are the types of people who are good spokespeople, commercial sounding people. Okay. Then crowd gatherers,
You're
right?
really, really good at doing that.
You know, there's a time and place for it because not all companies want that. Sometimes they want you to sound really real. So if you come with that type of, you know, they're gonna say, nah, that person's too salesy for me. But yeah, really, that was one of the things that Facebook told me. They were like, you still kind of sound like you're selling something. Don't sell. They didn't want me to sell.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. All right, so Moja is a company that I worked with. It was a software company as a spokesperson. Now, when crowd gathering, sometimes crowd gathering is not even about selling anything. It's just about having fun. So there's many times I've been a princess, Muhammad. I've been a princess so many times, playing with kids, singing with kids, dancing with kids, just to give an experience with the brand that's fun. I didn't have to sell anything. I just had to be on my feet in high heels for like 8 hours, but it was worth it. Let's see. Hosting, right? Having a host, someone that'll talk to the guests. Maybe you're using an event to have your experiential marketing. That person can be a host. A guide, right? Someone that's a guide. Say, for instance, you have a booth, right? And there's multiple things going on. You can have a person that welcomes people in and say, hi, I'd like to bring you over here, and right here we have this and blah 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 blah. And then, okay, and now we can walk over to this section. That's a host. Okay. Then I mean a guide. Then a line operator. A line operator is a person that, for instance, if you are going to have that meet and greet celebrity, or maybe if you're going to have face painting or some type of other thing happening at your booth, a line operator makes sure that everyone stays in line, nobody cuts, people are being polite, they're social distancing, those types of things. So it takes a whole team. A general ambassador. A general ambassador is a person that wears the shirt, they know about your project or product, and they just hand out samples, they talk to people, and they interact as you. Why is a general ambassador so important? Because it allows you to make business deals and connections so that you're not stuck at the table dealing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that walks by. You can actually be walking around the conference, collecting more information for your business, but you'll always have somebody at your table making sure that somebody's there to talk to the people walking by, right? Okay, I've done that for companies as well. Um, Finally, data capture, right? So I talked about the TikTok thing. Here's another thing with Nissan. They were trying to get people to sign up with the local Nissans in that area that we were doing the activation. So what we did was we said, if you give us your information, you automatically get enrolled in a free drawing for a car or whatever, brand new car that we were advertising, right? Um, One of the ideas I gave them was they had all of these nice looking backdrops at the activation. So I said, make sure everyone, when they come and take a picture, that they use this a hashtag. And then that way we can actually quantify our how many people we interacted with. They didn't know how to figure out how many people are we really interacting with. So I said, make them take a picture and use a hashtag, and then go back and count the hashtags, count the pictures on Instagram. That way we will know. So we said we didn't let them. We had freebies, right? But we said, if, in order to get this free T-shirt, you're gonna have to take a picture and put in this hashtag and post it. And then as soon as they post it, we will hand over the T-shirts. And that's how that
Mm.
went. All right, finally, you hung in. Let us talk about the 3 tips, and I'm gonna go real fast because we were going over time. I knew I was gonna go over time. 3 tips for starting your experiential campaigns to get started. I think we need to have a part 2 about this, right? But here's something that I want you to start thinking about. Number 1, you want to give an experience. One time I worked with the Oprah's there was a tour she did, and we were working with Weight Watchers in Oprah. And what we did was, there was this one brand that was giving people massages at the event, right? So I was like, wow, that's interesting. They're not
That's
giving out
brilliant.
they're not giving out samples, because what if they didn't have enough samples? So what they did is they hired a masseuse to come there to give people massages while they learn about their brand. So give them an
Mm.
experience. Get
So
very, yeah, I love that. Get very strategic and creative. Number 2, give a sample with a coupon. Don't just hand out samples. Actually have a coupon, especially because if you have some of your product there, you can give a coupon, and in that way people have more of an incentive to buy it right then, right? Have the coupon have an expiration date, so they have to buy it right then. Instead of just saying, oh, here's your freebie, and everybody like, oh, thank you, and they walk on away, right? They're like, oh, because there's people that just love freebies. They don't care what you're giving away, they're just going to take the freebie, they're not interested. The thing third and most very important thing, I've done this many times, and I see one common problem. There's many different people that come to wherever it is, different events for different reasons. They're going there for different reasons. There's going to be people who are attracted to your booth. Not all of them are worth you talking to them for like 5 minutes. Do you get what I'm saying? So what you have to do is segment those people, just like online, right, Mohammed? You'll have some customers who are just curious and some who are serious, right? To make sure you're using that valuable time, because I know it costs you money to be at that event, whatever you are doing, right? It costs you money to buy that booth, from $400 to $5,000 to be there. You want to make sure you're talking to the serious people. So One way you can segment that is have something fun and interesting going on that the curious people can interact with, but then also have on the side something for the serious people, and they will segment themselves. The curious people are always going to go for the freebie, they're always going to go for the fun. The serious people are going to come to the consultants that are sitting there waiting to answer your questions.
Right.
That way, have somebody that's an ambassador or that's just there to give out freebies and to give out and play games with people who are just curious, and have your team there of consultants and salespeople on the other side talking to the people who are ready to be closed, right? So that's what I have for you today. If you liked this and you want to hear more about experiential marketing, go ahead and comment somewhere. We'll see it later. Um, because I could write a book on experiential marketing. I love it, and there's a way to do it right. So you just got to make sure that you know what you're doing. But definitely start thinking about it. It's not going to stay like this forever, guys. We're going to go back to being in person. So you have to know how to market yourself in person correctly. Mohammed, what do you have?
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I've done a little bit of it as a product specialist and a little bit of ambassador, knocking on doors, sharing information. Sometimes I had to close, sometimes I didn't, but I've done both of them in various ways. And it works. It really does. It really works because it gives you control over the communication, and you can literally close the deal right there and get a customer for the company. So I believe that's why it really works, because it's so direct communication. And just like you were saying, I think the biggest tips would be give that experience. And just like Labo was saying, we will get back out there. So it's coming. You guys just hold on tight. But you can start doing that online, right? Just like we're doing. That's a little experience right there. Just like she said, if you can connect with these micro influencers and then create a live experience online, that also
Mm-hmm.
definitely, definitely will help. Give samples, just like she was saying, and then segmenting to the people that are curious and the people that are serious. That's the takeaway for me right there. And it rhymes, right? The people that are curious and the people that are serious. And to me, when you said that, it comes back to having systems and strategies so that when people come in, you're actually ready to, okay, you're curious, go this way. You're serious, you can go this way. So that was very powerful. I also wanted to reset the room on Clubhouse real quick. And I see that Nina, you're here still with us on stage. I was wondering if you have a question or a comment or a reaction or a thought about it. So if you do, please, you can unmute yourself and then start talking as well. Yes, Lobo, go ahead.
Okay, so I also wanted to say I know that certain people who are watching are thinking they can just grab their nephew Tommy and their niece Diane or Denise to do this. Let me tell you something. There's people who have a career in doing this, okay? This is there's a way to do this effectively and do this expertly and right. And just throwing it to anybody and thinking, oh, I'll just bring my nephew or my two sons to do this, and no, because then the next thing you're going to be saying is, oh, well, I tried that and it didn't work. No, you were leaving the job of an expert to a child. And I'm
Mm,
just saying, this is not like moving furniture into your house where you could just grab a few bodies and do it. No, there's people who know how to do this well. And so the great news is that they're all over the country, and they love to work. And you're probably thinking, how much does it cost to hire someone to do this? I'm going to tell you, it ranges between 17 and $50 an hour. 17 and $50 an hour, usually guaranteeing 3 hours, depending. So depending on what type of work it is, and if you have questions about this, go to admin@labeauproductions.com to send me any questions you have. Admin@labeauproductions.com. Hiring these folks is not hard. It's finding them. Finding them is hard, and finding the right ones. So if you have any interest in that, go ahead and message me.
Yes, yes,
Perfect.
yes. If you have any interest, follow, message us at admin@labelproduction.com for sure. And I also need to reiterate the brand new ebook that we have, 101 Social Media Gems, which is
Mm-hmm.
no fluff, no blah, 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 no woo hoo, wah ha ha. It's straight to the point, tips and strategies, and actually valuable questions that you can answer for your business, as well as actionable steps and actionable things that you can do every day to get more exposure on social media. So if you
And
want that book, go on labelproduction.com/101 social media gems.
I also have another book just came out, leading a remote team, where I'm teaching people on how to lead a remote team successfully. And then I have another book coming out called 101 Marketing Questions Answered. 101 Marketing Questions Answered. So, and I think I'm going to add 101 Marketing Questions Answered 2021, just so people know that it's recent and not old, because you know how marketing is. Like, if it was written 10 years ago, it may not be as effective or relevant today. But thank you
Agree.
all for watching. And you know what I think, Mohammed? We could talk from 101 marketing questions answered next time. We can like answer like 5 questions and talk about
Yeah,
that. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
great. Well, thank you all for watching. Share this with someone who needs it. Have a blessed day. Stay safe and warm. See ya. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you guys. Bye, and have an amazing rest of your day.